everything. Okay. So headphone, you speak something.
Good morning. Very good morning.
Just yeah, speak something. Hmm. Just
Good morning. Very good morning.
अभी पहले ये आते हैं.
Good morning. Very good morning.
Dear learners, please wait for 5 minutes. The expert is joining now due to some technical issue. There was some delay, and I appreciate the efforts, the activities which you people are doing there. And we are noticing it, we are observing it. Your study centers are sharing all these things with us, and I'm happy to see the activities, the pictures, the models, the yesterday you have worked on the assessment activities, day before that you worked on the creative activities of visual arts, and we all are getting your activities, and I appreciate the efforts which you are doing. Please continue it, because if you will enjoy it, you will be having no issue. You will be having no issue if you will enjoy it. So now I welcome Professor Amitav Mishra to this session. And Professor Amitav Mishra is a senior professor at School of Education of Inclusive Education, and sir will deal with the two topics. In the first session, he will talk about understanding children with special needs, and in second session, he will talk about creating your school inclusive. That how you can create your school as an inclusive school. So you all please listen to him carefully, and you can ask your questions in the chat box. Even he has some activities also. So those activities you need to answer in your chat box. So be attentive and listen to him. Now the session is over to Professor Amitav Mishra.
Good morning, dear students. I'm really sorry there's some audio problem, and it has been now rectified. And I again welcome you all to the fourth day of our workshop, session 1,
Just wait a second.
that is understanding children with special needs. I know you are very much familiar with the kind of students you have in your classroom, different kind of students. I think you agree to that. And there are some children, you call them special. You are very much but I don't but I don't think they are special with their needs. Rather, the teachers needs to be very special while dealing with them. They have needs like any student, like any student. they have treated like any student. सो आज वो जो चौथा दिन है, इसमें हम लोग विशेष आवश्यकता युक्त बच्चों के बारे डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं। और मैं कहूंगा कि हम सभी लोग स्पेशल हैं। और ये जो स्पेशल की बात कर रहे हैं, मुझे लगता है कि उनके जरूरत एक आम छात्रों की तरह है, और वो स्पेशल नहीं है, बल्कि हम टीचर उनके लिए एक प्रकार की स्पेशल तरह, हम सिर्फ उनको नहीं, हम सबको करना है। So with this, I would like to start my session that understanding children with special needs. I'll try to in between insert some Hindi, because there are some students that need in Hindi, but mostly we'll deal in English. But if I have any problem, we'll simplify in Hindi. So we have different parts to understand the complete concept. The part one will be the individual differences and children with special needs. I know we all are different. In your family, do you think all members are the same? No. Even your brothers, your sisters, you have a common parent, a common family, the same environment, but all are different. So in your classroom, all students are different. It is because of the differences while growing up. The differences may be in their cognitive ability, the difference may be in the social ability, the different may be all kind of their interests, their aptitude, everywhere the differences. In their abilities also, I think you must be familiar with this bell-shaped curve. So some may be with high abilities, some may be less abilities, but all come under a bell. They have equal right. So individual difference is basic nature of human development. Just to summarize it, it is a basic nature of human development. All the fingers are not the same. All the fingers of different size, different strength. Have you ever thought, this is my best finger, this is my weak finger? Never. It's equal. Like a mother, how treat every child at home. For her, everyone is equal. For the teacher, every student is equal. So by the nature of human development, we have differences. But so while dealing with individual differences, we need to be equal in our approach. I think this is a classroom. You have different kind of students, even students with visual impairment. You have seen the blind student. So if you compare with other average student, how they are different? I know, because they have visual impairment, they cannot see like any other students. They have difficulties while walking, while doing some activity, while writing, while reading. They cannot do like any other student, but they have very special abilities, very special abilities. They can even do lots of things, but we cannot. Can you walk in a dark? But there is a part of their life, they know it. But in the classroom, do you think you have student, those we can say, like, you can compare, but is not a concrete comparison. It's a something imaginary comparison. So think there are students in the classroom, they love to hear. They love to hear from the teacher. They want to discuss. They want to learn from this. So they are basically auditory learners. Auditory learners. So if in your class student they want to hear you, I think a child with visual impairment has no problem. She or he can hear you. So the learning needs are met. So think in your class you have children with hearing impairment. They are visual learners. I think I come under this means if the teacher keep on talking in the classroom, definitely I will sleep after a few minutes. You know, because I'm not an auditory learner. Means my dominance is not listening and learning. My dominance would be more on more on seeing something. I'm a visual learner. If you could show me a video, you could just show me a model, show me a chart or something, I learn in a better way. But I'm not a person with hearing impairment. I'm average. I'm like a, I have no problem with hearing, no problem with seeing, but still, I prefer to see, I prefer to do while learning. So in your classroom, even student without disability, they may be visual learner, like like any child with hearing impairment. So in your classroom, if you compare with student with disabilities, as per a choice, some of our ability has been dominated, some of the abilities has been suppressed. A child with intellectual disability, showing or talking will not help much. They want to do some activity. In a classroom, who doesn't like this? Every child want to do some activity. Every child wants to do. When the teacher says, go, we'll have the activity. We'll have the activity now. They will really jump out, jump into doing some activity. Everyone really like to do activity. They don't want to just listen to the teacher standing in front, keep on talking, open the book. So this is not the way how the student they need very you have to simplify. Every student also like classroom also, even student with average intelligence, they want also to simplify. That is the one way you help. So this is the world. This is the world. We have different children. Different children. And if you are with them, I think you don't feel them different. You feel them like they are. They are like part of our life. Part of our life. In our in every family, in every community, you have different people. You have different people. So how you interact with them, how you behave with them, how you support them, it is your humanity. You as a human, you as a person, you as a teacher, how you really support them. This is, as a teacher, we cannot be different. We have to support them. So disability is what we see in our eyes. Not all, many of us. But children with disability, they don't see they have any disability. They are ready to learn. They are ready to learn. They just need the opportunity to learn. Do you think we are all full with abilities? No. You might have some. All of us. If somebody will ask me to sing a song, it is beyond my ability. But I love listening to songs. But in some way, we may not have that capacity in some activity. So similarly, don't see people with having a disability. Find out their ability. That is very important. Child with hearing impairment. So in the classroom, can you think what kind of you think uh, they have need you as a teacher, your presentation, your lecture, your everything, how it should be? Are you a visual learner? I just compare with a child with hearing impairment. You as a visual learner, do you make list? Yes. I always make list what I have to do. Do you dream in color? Yes. Take detailed notes? Yes. Understand charts with ease? Close your eye to visualize something? You excel at spelling but often forget the names? So, because many of us are visual learners. And same problem the children with hearing impairment they face when you provide something in auditory. You want to keep your class as an auditory class, they will not gain. If you keep your class with lot of visual inputs, then they will enjoy. If have activities, they will enjoy. They will enjoy. So like there are many students in a classroom. Can you identify some student classroom? Those are visual learners. They may not have any kind of disability, but they may be learners. They prefer a visual kind of things. The videos are more effective. The models are more effective. The charts are more effective. Rather than hearing to the teacher, they would like to read the blackboard. They would like to read the blackboard. So So that is something they prefer to do. So there are 65% of the people or the student with disabilities, without disabilities, they are visual learners. You got my point? 65% in a classroom. Even you don't have a child with hearing impairment in a classroom, but 65% they don't prefer listening as a main modality of learning. But as a teacher, what we do, you need to examine. Let us talk about children with visual impairment. You know, because in your uh, self-learning material, you read about what is visual impairment, what their difficulties. When you compare their best learning that happens through hearing, that happens through touching, that happens through doing some activity. But do you know, in a classroom, there are many students. They also want to listen to you. They also want to listen to you. So it means there are students who are visual learners, there are students who are auditory learners. So you as a teacher needs to counterbalance. You need to provide. You cannot just give roti, you have to give dal also. So it is like roti and dal, it is like chawal and rajma. Both have to go together. You cannot have just one menu on your plate. But rather you need to add some more menu. There are students, they will look through the window what is happening outside, not in the classroom. They are not interested what is happening in the classroom. There are children with less cognitive ability. There are children with learning difficulties. Even in a classroom, some children, even good intelligence also, they don't want to learn in the classroom. So they are of similar. They're of similar. So what they need? They need activities. My dear teachers, what they need activities. You need to give activities to them. If you do, if you give some activity, if you organize some activity, not only this child, what you are seeing on your phone or on your laptop, what you are seeing from this my presentation, all your student will just jump into it. They will grab the activity to do. Everybody enjoy doing the activities. So why we are looking at the disabilities? Why we are saying that they cannot hear, they cannot see, they cannot do? Because we have to understand their learning needs. Their learning needs we need to understand. So you have seen this cartoon has always having some kind of difficulties. So our part 2 is why some students fail to learn. Why some students fail to learn. Let us try to understand. If your student is not learning, tell me what could be the reason? What could be the reason? Why my student is not learning? Is it the problem in the student? Problem in the content? Problem with the teacher? Why my student is not learning? Student has challenges in learning? You can put in a chat box also your answer. If your student is not learning, why not learning? So, do you think it's a true or false? Because student is not learning, because student has challenge in learning. write in a chat box whether it is a true or false. I'm just waiting to see your response. True or false? Good, some are attempting. Don't worry. So, why does a student fail to learn? We are trying to find out the reasons. So, I know you can type your answers in a chat box. Why students fail to learn? The major, the research has said, if a child is off task, not doing the task, not learning, perhaps the problem is not the child, but the task. This may be one of your sample answers. There could be many answers why your student is not learning. So we have to find out. This picture, I think, look at this picture. A teacher and students. What the teacher is saying, I'm very, very impartial. मैं बहुत निष्पक्ष हूं, मैं फेयर हूं, I'm very transparent. I want to give some exam test to you all. Are you able to see who are the students? Heavy like, very physically heavy like an elephant. In a classroom, you can have a student means with a lot of strength. Yes, like elephant. You might have student like a monkey, very clever. Or maybe you call it in Hindi nutcut. There can be like a crow, there can be like a seal, there can be like a fish, and very faithful, sincere, like a dog. I don't see the animals in those students, but I'm just comparing it. The kind of characteristics you could see, differences, individual differences among these students of this teacher who is just sitting before them. So we have also classroom like these kind of students. These kind of students. They may look similar. They may be of same height with same uniform, but inside them, they're all different. All different. But what the teacher wants to give a test. For a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree. Please climb that tree. Imagine. I think over. Who are going to succeed? Crow, the monkey, elephant cannot climb, but it can just bring the tree down. Dog can climb, very sincere student, but it cannot climb. Think about the fish. Think about the fish. Fish has special ability in water. Can you catch a fish in the water? Very difficult. But if you ask a fish to climb a tree, the whole life, the fish will die thinking there is no more stupid than me. I am the stupidest. I am the most idiot student on this world. It will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. This happens. This happens in a classroom. We don't understand the abilities of our students. So as a teacher, we try to teach at our own way, at our own way, without understanding what would happen to my students. Is very important, we need to realize. So all learners are unique, all learners are different. We have to understand all learners are unique, all learners are different. Like every Aadhaar ID is different, your fingerprints are different. So every student are that different. So as a teacher, no, I'll give this test to everyone. No, this is the way I want to teach. I'll just go and open my book. Students, please open this book. Then I'll start. Okay, read this one. I'll explain you. This is like exactly what we do in a classroom. So we as a teacher cannot imagine, cannot just consider that all students are the same. So our teaching method, our teaching strategies should be the same for every student. No. So why there are tailors in our community? Then the dress or cloth should come in the same size. Why there is 32, 34, 36 different sizes of cloths? Why our chappals are of size 5, size 6, size 7, size 8? Why no classroom every size is same? Every teaching is the same. Tailors can do according to its consumers. A mochi or a shoemaker can make a different size. Your mother can make different dishes as per the wish of your my younger one doesn't like some kind of chili masala food, so I'll cook something very simple for my the younger one. Elder one likes hot spicy, so I'll make. So your mother also doesn't make the same food for everyone. So why as a teacher, why our teaching is the same for everyone? We need to change it. It is somebody said, it is not the disability in learning, it is maybe the disability in teaching. We don't know how to teach them. I don't blame you or me or anyone. We have to change our way of teaching. Our way of teaching. We have to change. Try to understand neurodiversity. The brain, what we have, is not the same what other people they have the brain. It's a different kind of, means physically there's maybe same, biologically there may be little different. It doesn't mean that human brains have different size, different shapes, but the functions are different. As I said you at the onset, what I said you, some are visual learners, some are auditory learners, some do it and learn it better, means through activity. They want to do in their hand. If I do this one, so I learn it better way. Some remember through smell, through taste, we remember many things. So our brain is different. Every child's brain is different in terms of learning. So our teaching cannot be the same. So because the tailor have different measurement, the shoemaker has different measurement, the factories they make different measurement. So as a teacher, we are in educational industry, so our product also need to be different for each student. You must have read about multiple intelligence. Have you read about multiple intelligence? Yes, I know. It is there in our course. Some would like to learn when they are in nature. You take them out of the classroom, maybe in the garden, or may you take somewhere. When they are in the nature, they learn the best. They learn the best. There are people are interpersonal, means they learn through discussion. Like before examination, there's something, okay, let us discuss and this thing. But some are, they don't like discussion just before the exam. They want to go through it, read it, write it. So there, because this is the way our brain functions. Some like discussion. Some are very logical, mathematical concept they use for the learning. Anything. Even the history they use the logics, or maybe in some kind of they use logic numbers. They just they remember in that way. There's a picture smart. They just remember the pictures. They remember what is written. They have a photocopying kind of brain. If they see it once, they remember it. There are people who think over self-learning. They're self-smart. Intrapersonal aspect works better. Body smart means give them some activity, games. So if you teach something through games, they learn it better way. They learn it better way. There are some students, they want to even learn the chemistry formulas through music. Very difficult concept, just make into a music, they learn it. Because they are very much fond of music. There are people who just read it, paragraphs, write it, so they're word smart. So this is the nature of the brain, how it works. We're different. We're different. So similarly, what why I'm trying to explain all these things. In the beginning, what I said, we call them people with disabilities. No, even everyone has some kind of disability, means different way of learning. We cannot be the same for everyone. The neuroscientists have checked the learning happens. There's a lot of brain based learning theory going on. They understand our brain is a different, every student brain is built up in a different way. So our teaching learning process cannot be the same way. We need to do something different. They don't call, for example, student with learning difficulties. They said it is like some people are tall, some people are dwarf, some people are of less height. There's a neurodiversity. It's not a problem. Let us don't consider problem. Some attention deficit. These are the brain. They have a different kind of things. You have some dish very sweet, some dish very hot, some dish may be salty, some dish may be something. So these are different kind of students. They are not. Let us don't talk about the disability, rather the differences. And as a teacher, how we can how we can teach in a different way. Let us, whenever we teach, our content has three kind of designs we have to stress. Whenever whatever the content we teach them. One is yours sensorial design, means somebody may be an auditory learner, somebody may be a visual learner, somebody wants to do through activities, tactile learner. So our content need to be translated into a multisensory approach. How we can do it? That doesn't mean that you have to get everything done in the classroom. Just as a project give, they can do at home. Before the content also being taught in the classroom, they can do at home also. So whenever you want to go to a classroom to teach a content, first look at the sensorial design. What kind of auditory aspect I will take, because in my classroom there are students who are auditory learners. I'm able to do justice for the auditory learners. There should be component of auditory learning. There may be some students who have difficulty in learning through listening. They are visual learners. I'm able to do the justice. What are the visual content in my teaching learning? Whether I have a videos with a chart, models, then some learners may need some activities. Just they want to touch something in the classroom, just if you give something to touch, maybe you're teaching a fruit, or maybe you are teaching some concept or something, a model they can touch, they enjoy it. It's some kind of, rather than making a drawing on the blackboard saying this, you can just give them in their hand, touch it and feel it and see what is this. Think about your class. When you have content, you have given importance to the auditory learning part. You have given importance to the content of the visual learning part. You have given the importance to the doing part in the classroom. So it means you have served all kind of menu on the plate. It is the choice of the student what to take. For example, going some dinner, you may be a vegetarian, non-vegetarian. A menu you have only non-vegetarian. A vegetarian guest really will have tough time. What the vegetarian guest will eat? Very difficult. So when you have, so that's why teacher will serve a content or menu should have all kind of things as per the preference of the student. Next is information. What kind of information design you just make it? This information you want to give through just a visual or through a auditory, or you want to give so that they can do some kind of activities, so they know the application, they know understanding of the thing. So it's the informative design. So you know lesson planning and what kind of designs you follow. You have to see that interaction design. That needs to be interaction. If the student is doing on his own, let them bring and interact. What kind of project you have made? Sometimes some student will love to do in a group. You make a small groups, so they will learn. So So three things you are considering here, three things. One is sensorial design. Second is information design. Third is interaction design. If you do this, your teaching is very much perfect for all students. Students without disabilities in your classroom and students with disabilities in a classroom. There is no difference. No difference. So it is you how you plan it, how you do it. I just would like to give some activity to you. So in the next session, I'll show you the activity what I have planned it. The activity is, I'll just tell you what the activity is. There is a topic in your in your classroom. There's a topic for your student, that is the earthworm, farmer's best friend. केचुआ केचुआ किसान का सबसे जिगरी दोस्त. The farmer's best friend, earthworm. So to teach that topic in the classroom, and imagine you have all kind of students in your classroom. You have all kind of students in the classroom. What kind of activities you have to plan so that every student will be benefited from your. Even student with visual impairment, they will be benefited. Student with hearing impairment, they will be benefited. Student with attention learning problem, they will be benefited, and student without disability, they will be benefited, and student who don't have less interest in the studies, they also will love it. What kind of activity you can do? So today, after this session, my second session, you have to do this activity. You have to submit it, this activity. So I'd like to take some questions from you. So Mukhtar is saying very you liked it. Ravindra Panigra is saying he likes this session. Hamid Khan, so I know. So you liked it. This means you are understanding how we can. Praveen Akhtar says earthworm help us to dig soil, so the soil becomes more fertile because the sun rays goes, the air goes into. So if you are teaching the same thing in the classroom, like Sarmila Rajput said, you will use the ICT. So, and Praveen Bano also said. So these are the all. So in the classroom, what kind of I understand that government schools, but student can do a lot. The only thing you are thinking that everything the teacher have to do, no, it is the association of teacher and the students. Student can do lot of things at home also, that we'll be discussing in our next session also. Because don't think everything the teacher have to do. The students can do many things that teachers cannot do in the classroom. Don't think the teachers is the only person to make the student learn. Give activity the students to learn at home. Make students group, they'll go, they will do this. Why you think that teachers have to do A to Z in the classroom? But teacher is a very important planner. The teachers have to plan. Yes, Bikram, you have said this have to be done, the teachers to and the students should do. Safi says we all have. I understand Safi, and Puhan says same. Amit, I also very much agree with you. Uh, 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 yes, Pradhan, Tarun, you have to do this for this. If you can just share a video, that will be so nice. Uh, uh, so uh, yes, Najr, it's good. You can have. So Nikhat Gul, you said you can use different strategies. So we just want to know what kind of different strategies you can use. I think my next session will help you what kind of different strategies you can use it. Sabir, okay, it is, I understand how the earth makes the earth fertile. Sima Sarma, so I appreciate that you understood this. If you have any more question, can you just give me any more question? Uh, any question that you think I would like to answer your question. Uh, Earthworm is farmer's best friend. Okay, but if student poses me question that why the farmers that you have to resolve. Deepika Dash, okay, you want to use Motu Patlu kind of things. Very good. You all these ideas coming. Yeah, excellent ideas coming. Uh, excellent ideas coming. So Madan Lal is saying you have to think of some different kind of activities. Iqbal, yes, Iqbal. Pavitra Das, you want to plan a field trip is good, good. You want to plan a field trip. And Khan Nazir saying strategies are important. Yes, you as a teacher, you understood why strategies are very important. Narayan Chandra Puhan, okay, you are waiting very much for the next session. I am also. I'm just, the way you are interacting and the way you have understood the concept what I presented here. I'm really thankful to you. So it means if you are able to answer these things or able to do the activities, able to think over this, it means you are really learning here. You are really learning here. So that we want, because the workshop is for, because you want to do something, you want to show some activities, and these activities you have to note it whenever your school opens, so you can do it in your school. So with this we'll be again meeting at 11:45. So with this we end this session. Thank you very much. So have some cup of hot coffee or tea, relax for 10 minutes. We'll again back with our next session. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Control D.